Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American Christian science fiction thriller film from 2023, titled The Shift. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. In 2008, Kevin Garner, a hedge fund manager and recovering alcoholic, loses his job after the collapse of Bear Stearns. Feeling devastated and on the brink of relapse, Kevin heads to a bar where he meets Molly. Molly, prompted by a dare from her friends, interrupts Kevin before he takes his first drink. Despite the rocky start, Kevin and Molly hit it off. Kevin decides to stay sober and asks Molly out on a proper date, and eventually, they get married. Years later, their son Daniel disappears, leading to estrangement between Kevin and Molly. Molly has turned into a bitter alcoholic, while Kevin feels miserable in his job. His younger boss holds a grudge against people like Kevin because his parents lost their home in the subprime mortgage crisis. Kevin discovers he's about to be fired, so he leaves work. On his way home, he gets into a car accident. Strangely, he's rescued from the wreck by a mysterious stranger who introduces himself only as the benefactor. The benefactor reveals to Kevin that he has shifted him to an alternate reality after the accident, plunging Kevin into a parallel universe. Kevin initially doubts the benefactor's claims but becomes convinced when he notices the empty streets and the stark differences between his current world and the one he knows. Together, they enter a cafe where Kevin witnesses the fear the staff and patrons hold for the benefactor. During their conversation, Kevin's suspicions grow, and he comes to the startling realization that the benefactor is none other than Satan himself. The benefactor offers Kevin a deal, anything he desires in exchange for becoming one of his shifters, individuals who have traded their souls to manipulate alternate realities. Kevin learns that all versions of himself from different realities already serve as the benefactor's shifters. Furthermore, he discovers that his wife has been shifted twice without anyone noticing. To test the benefactor's powers, Kevin suggests Tina, a waitress at the cafe, be shifted as a demonstration of the supernatural abilities at play. The benefactor demonstrates his power by shifting Tina to a universe where she never existed, explaining the cruel effect such shifts have on the psyche of the affected individual. Horrified by the consequences of his request, Kevin begins to silently pray to God for help. Enraged by Kevin's defiance, the benefactor asserts his superiority over both Kevin and God before abruptly disappearing, leaving Kevin stranded in the dystopian universe. Overwhelmed with guilt for his role in Tina's plight, Kevin apologizes to her family before departing, grappling with the consequences of his actions and the unsettling reality of his new existence. 5 years later, Kevin still resides in the totalitarian reality, concealing his identity due to his involvement in the illicit prayer incident at the cafe, an act associated with the defiant Kevin who refused. In this grim universe, widespread warfare and human activity have ravaged the planet, resulting in catastrophic environmental degradation. Initially, the shifters operated in secret, moving between alternate universes, utilizing small wrist-worn shifting devices, known as deviators, to exile individuals deemed problematic by the regime. This resulted in the disappearance of millions, restoring order to the remaining human-inhabited areas. However, with the arrival of the benefactor, surviving world leaders relinquished control to him, allowing him to reshape the world according to his will. Under the benefactor's rule, the majority of people endure lives of poverty and misery in decrepit and authoritarian cities governed by the iron fist of his secret police. Kevin writes passages from the Bible from memory, trying to be as faithful to the original text as possible. He shares these passages with his friend Gabriel, even though owning or sharing scripture is against the law. Additionally, he tells the story of Job to his neighbor Rudget and his family, to share hope in times of trouble. Kevin finds comfort in visiting a movie theater owned by Russo. The theater streams live footage of viewers' alternate reality doppelgangers. While there, Kevin encounters multiple versions of Molly, one of whom is a single mother and nurse. This Molly still wears a necklace Kevin gave her before their separation, a necklace only the original Molly wore, until she was replaced by the benefactor with her doppelganger. Kevin plans to acquire a deviator from one of the shifters, whose identities remain secret. Upon hearing a TV announcement that the benefactor is returning to the reality after 5 years, Kevin obtains an illegal firearm from Gabriel. His intention is to coerce the benefactor into taking him back to his previous life in the old reality. The next day, spotting the benefactor entering a cafe with a man, Kevin decides to execute his plan. However, his plan fails, and he finds himself back in his apartment. As he steps outside, he witnesses the police closing in on him, and notices a doppelganger of himself before the police open fire, injuring one of his arms. Frustrated by the failure of his plan, he drops his gun, and begins destroying things in his house. After calming down, the benefactor appears to him, only for Kevin to realize that his gun is now in the possession of the benefactor. He then teleports Gabriel into the room, and when being questioned about his relationship with Kelvin, Gabriel claims he doesn't know Kevin. Once more, the benefactor attempts to persuade Kevin to join him, but Kevin declines. Suddenly, he hears noises outside, and during a raid on Rudget's adjacent apartment, the police shoot Rudget, injuring him. The police then start shooting at Kevin's apartment, knocking Gabriel unconscious. Kevin notices a deviator on Gabriel's wrist and realizes that Gabriel has been one of the benefactor's secret shifters all along, using Gabriel's deviator to shift himself to another reality. Kevin shifts through several universes, finding himself in a psychiatric ward where he encounters Gabriel's doppelganger, who as a doctor, chases and shoots at him. Kevin manages to evade them by entering a ward where he meets Tina, who appears unstable. As Kevin initiates a conversation with Tina, she initially remains calm but suddenly begins acting erratically, prompting the psychiatric staff to intervene and take her away. In the chaos, the psychiatric workers are shot by the doppelgangers of Gabriel, and Kevin uses the deviator, which shift him back to his bullet-riddled apartment in the dystopian reality, but this time Gabriel's body is missing. Stepping outside, he sees the injured Rudget being loaded into an ambulance, and he hands a note to his wife, which reads hope. Suddenly, an elderly woman draws attention to Kevin, prompting him to flee with the police in pursuit. Kevin seeks refuge in Russo's cinema, where they manage to identify the universe where the view of Molly wearing the necklace originates. However, the police track down Kevin and enter the cinema. Before Kevin can be arrested, he feeds the coordinates into the deviator and is shifted to that universe. In this universe, Molly is upset by their conversation, suggesting that they both should move on, and reminds Kevin that he initiated the breakup of their marriage. Despite this, Kevin feels that there might still be a chance to revive their relationship. Suddenly, the benefactor returns Kevin to the totalitarian universe and shifts Tina to Russo's cinema. He tells Kevin that he must choose between restoring Tina to her family, never to see Molly again, or stay with Molly forever after accepting the benefactor's offer to become his shifter. However, Kevin decides to give Tina her life back. Angered by his decision, the benefactor attempts to shoot Kevin, but he's suddenly shifted to another reality. In this new reality, Molly is a nurse and a single mother who doesn't recognize him. Kevin strikes up a conversation similar to their first meeting, and the two get married once again. Kevin expresses that although this isn't his universe, it feels like home. He is seen playing with his newborn son and his adopted daughter, showing that he received double what he lost. In a post-credits scene, Christopher Polaha, who portrays Kevin in the film, thanks all viewers for watching and briefly mentions the inspirations behind the screenplay and its production. Okay guys, that's all the recap about The Shift from 2023. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.